We have a constitutional duty to pursue this impeachment.
I believe in public education.
We cannot go up against China alone.
I think this is ultimately about our values.
We can make diplomacy work, but it's hard work, it's painstaking work.
We know that we have a tax system that's way weighted in the hands of the wealthiest among us. Most Americans know that the crisis of everything from college to childcare are running out of control.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Keith.
And we are the producers of The Democratic Field. Imagine 10 actors reading verbatim transcripts of the policy statements from 10 candidates for president. Only you don't know which actor is reading which candidate's statements. That's The Democratic Field. It's a civic engagement and arts-based research project that brings an audience together with actors to explore their implicit biases and better understand their perceptions and their electoral preferences.
So verbatim performance is when an actor learns the precise speech and gestural pattern of a person and performs it. So we simply put, it's word for word and gesture for gesture.
I concluded it wasn't. I wrote about that.
So is it President Obama's fault?
Is it
President Obama's fault? Because he's pushing it.
There are different views about what's good for our country,
our economy, and our leadership in the world.
When people experience these verbatim performances, they tend to have realizations about why they might be making their choices. So it actually allows us to see something that we think we understand in a fresh and unfamiliar light.
We live in a spectacle democracy. We only know our candidates through media and through their social media presences. Some of us think we know their policies well, but what we found with the Democratic Field is that people don't know as much as they think they know. And this is an amazing way for people to engage with their civic responsibility as voters in a totally new way.
So in the Democratic Field, actors use what we call a scored transcript that reflects the speech pattern of each of the candidates that are included.
Going into communities with this project, we were able to use local actors and work with local arts organizations and local universities.
We've actually created a training session for actors locally so we can spend time with them before the event, helping them to understand what the scored transcript looks like, what the notation reveals for them about speech pattern, and give them a chance to practice that before they perform in front of a live audience.
So not only are communities being involved in the project, but also actors are being exposed to potentially a new acting method.
So the Democratic Field is a lot more than just a theater project. It's really an engagement with the audience. At the beginning of the event, they voted for their preferred candidate. At the end of the event, they vote again. And they don't always end up voting for the same candidate. So we want to make sure that we sit with the audience and engage them and ask them questions and listen to their response about what's changed in their perception, what's changed in their experience, and whether or not the Democratic Field has had an effect on their decision making. At the very beginning of this, I asked you what's important to you in education, what's important to you in foreign policy. Can you describe any statements that you heard that you found compelling or persuasive on either of those issues? What was powerful for you?
I wanted to really think that I could just listen for what they were saying and what the content was, but I really realized that certain people's intonation and delivery was definitely having more of an effect on me than others.
So, candidate A.
Serious?
Yeah.
Sanders.
Candidate B.
Klobuchar.
Candidate J.
So we are right now in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, at a caucus site on the day before the caucus, and we're about to have an edition of the Democratic Field here for Iowa voters. So we're trying to bring it from here in Iowa and New York to every state during the primary season that we can. So here's what we're asking for to make this happen all across the country. We're trying to raise $10,000 here on Kickstarter so that we can hold Democratic Field events everywhere in the United States during the primary season and leading up to and even beyond the Democratic National Convention. So with this money, we're going to be able to travel to different locations, hold workshops for actors in that community, and help support and subsidize the partners in the communities that we're working with to be able to pull these events off. Thank you so much for any donation amount that you can make. Please spread the word, share this video. If you've been to a Democratic Field event, let everyone know what kind of effect it had on you. If you haven't been to a Democratic Field event, follow us at Artists Literacies Institute and the Verbatim Performance Lab, and you'll find out when the next one is happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.